How we going, guys? Salute Gamer over here, and I'm bringing you guys another episode. Is it worth it? Should we spend our good earned money on these gaming products? Over here in this video, I'll be doing a beautiful Is It Worth It series on the ASUS ROG SWIFT PG348Q gaming monitor. Of course, this is a 34-inch 21:9 ultra-wide QHD 3440 by 1440, overclockable by 100 Hz, and also has the beautiful G-Sync. This bad boy of a behemoth, is it worth it? I'll tell you guys at the end of this video, but let me just show you guys the first thing, which is the design. First thing we see, guys, when we see this gorgeous monitor, let's see the really cool stand for this monitor. This is made of a really nice brushed aluminum, very premium. Feels solid. Of course, it's aluminum, nice and brushed. We get a beautiful orange accent. That's also at the back, which I'll show you guys shortly. What else do we get? We get a beautiful bezel at the bottom, a bit thick, but for me, honestly, it's just perfect. We get the really cool G-Sync logo. It's really cool. I'm loving the two-tone that they actually added at the bottom here. Added a bit of 3D dimension. On the other side, of course, we have the ASUS logo there. On the other side, we get the same thing, which is beautiful. The bezels are very thin, which is really awesome. Very thin bezels. We don't want to see too much bezel action. That's a really good thing. And let's look at the back of the design on this. What do we get on the back? The back, we get the same really cool accent that we got at the front, the orange, really cool brushed aluminum accent. We get the ROG sign, which is beautiful. You gotta love it. And of course, what else do we get? We get the continuation of the really cool design at the bottom here too. We get the three really cool feet for the stands for this monitor. The back is a bit more, I would say, shorter than the front. This will be approximately from the monitor around 15 centimeters. So you guys will definitely need a really, wide desk to actually support this monitor. And of course, we get the really cool design. I'm loving this. Really cool texture. Really cool, design they actually added at the back here. And of course, what do we get on this side? We get all of our programmable buttons, a really cool analog stick over there, and we get a couple buttons over here too, which I'll show you guys shortly what they actually do for the monitor. And of course, we get some more breathable action over here for some vents to actually allow for some more circulation, which is cool. And we get more of that circulation at the top over here too. Looking at the bottom, for cable managing, we're able to actually take these out and actually put our cables inside on both sides, in case you guys were wondering. What do these do, which is very useful. All you just gotta do is take it off like that. Pretty easy to actually put back on. All you just gotta do is attach it like this, and then basically it's back on. Pretty simple like that, fellas. But now let's get to, of course, turning on the monitor and seeing how that actually performs. Looking at this section over here, guys, this actually opens up. This is where we're actually able to put in all of our display ports, our HDMI ports too. Let me show y'all over here. So we get our display port over there, as you guys can see. HDMI 1, USB 1, 2, and 3. These are also USB 3.0 compatible too, in case you guys are wondering. Then on the far right over there, we get our headphone jack and also our PowerPoint source that actually powers on this monitor. Really cool. We're also able to put our cables on top of that to actually allow it to actually come in here. So really nice addition to the monitor, in case you guys are neat freaks like me that like cool cable managing. That's a really cool feature. Then of course the cables will come inside here and then come all the way inside there, and then go back inside inside your desktop PC, which is pretty fresh. So I thought I'd just show you guys really cool cable managing capabilities as well. Looking at the side of this monitor over here, this is where we get all of our functionality to actually maneuver through the menus on your monitor. So the first thing we get over here, as we can tell, is a really cool analog sort of switch that's able to make it go up and down, which I would say is extremely ergonomic and easy to use. Well done, ASUS, on that. Good job. Of course, the first button over here, which actually indicates the menu. So in case you want to press that, you get straight into the menu. This over here cancels everything, which is the second button here. The third one is to actually activate any gaming modes that you actually want to have. This actually does support the FPS counter and also enables a crosshair movement, which is really fresh. I'm loving that functionality there. And on top of it, in case you guys want to overclock your rig to actually get a bit more faster, up to 100 Hz, we just use this button over here, which is pretty cool. You gotta love overclocking to 100 Hz, guys. And this button over here indicates actually turn on or turn off the monitor, which is pretty easy. So pretty easy, you know, seamless guide to actually, you know, maneuver this monitor through the menus. So over here, guys, it's basically the highest that this monitor can actually go. Yes, we're also able to pivot it down, which I just show you guys. So we're able to move it down like this over here, which is cool in case you guys want to have a rig that has, you know, eye level sort of detail. But personally, for me, I like to have mine a little high up until about there, which is the maximum amount of height. From there to about here, I would say it's roughly about 70 centimeters, which is okay in terms of, you know, the height that you actually want, depending on the gaming chair that you actually have. But that's pretty good. We're also able to swivel it up like this, which is approximately 45 centimeters. So in case you guys are one of those gamers that are really cool and crazy, if you wanted to have it like that, yes you can. And you're also able to, you know, of course, tilt it back to how it was. We're able to go a bit more deeper in case you guys want to have a bit more different action on your video games, which is cool. But personally, I like to have mine up until about there on the maximum height, so I'm able to see everything that's going on in my games. But I thought I'd just show you guys, you know, in terms of how low we could go, and of course how high it could go, and how much you're actually able to, you know, to turn it up like that, and even turn it down. But thanks. So yeah, it is, guys. The monitor over here, as you can tell, it's in the dark. I thought I'll show you guys how bright this monitor actually gets on this maximum brightness, which is pretty good. But let me show you guys the other excellent detail that this monitor actually has. As we can tell at the bottom over here, we get the ASUS logo in red that actually comes out. Unfortunately, the only option we get is to turn it on and off. We have no other colors like green, yellow, or blue. Only color we get is red, which is perfectly fine. So in case you guys are wondering, will this mess up my rig in case you guys have a yellow or blue theme? Not necessarily. You guys could always just turn it off, but I thought I'll show you guys how it actually looks like. Yeah, it is, guys. The user interface on this beautiful monitor, very easy to understand and easy to maneuver. I'm loving the fact that you get an analog stick at the back, so let's just go through it. The first thing we get over here is the overclockability. So the maximum refresh rate is 100 Hertz, but we're always able to change it to as many as we want to. So I could go all the way down to 75, which is cool. Just so you guys know, you guys need at least a very strong graphics card to get about 100 Hertz, especially on a resolution of 3440 by 1440. I'm rocking two 1080 Ti's in SLI. Let me just show you guys just to confirm that. As you guys can tell over there, the Duke two 1080 Ti's and SLI's over there. So that's very, you know, it's possible to actually push 100 Hertz, but most importantly, I play, you know, Diablo and stuff, which is pretty easy. But with these new titles, you probably need something a bit more horsepower to get 100 FPS, unless you guys want to actually, you know, just lower down your settings. But that's basically it, guys, on the maximum refresh. Let's go to GameVisuals. We're able to actually change up the scenery mode, all these modes over here, and add different sorts of colors to our background. Let me just show you guys. So the first one is the scenery mode, which is the one that we see right now, and the second one is the racing mode, which you guys can see is a bit more darker. The cinema mode, you add a bit more, you know, rich colors, a bit more, you know, I would say saturation on that. We get the RTS RPG mode. That adds a bit more dynamic ratio to it, makes it a bit more realistic, a bit more colors, which I really like. And then we get the FPS mode, which is pretty similar to the RTS mode. And then we get the sRGB mode, which makes it a bit more darker. So in case you guys want something with a darker, more feel, this monitor definitely, you know, supports that. Let me go back to my RTS RPG mode, which I prefer. But now let's use the blue light filter. So as you know, guys, this makes your screen a bit more brighter and adds a bit more, I would say, realism in the pictures. So let's just go to, I have mine on level 0 because I don't like mine being a bit too saturated. But let me just show you guys all the different levels. Let's go all the way to level 4. Level 4, as you guys can tell, is really dull. But level 3 is a bit more brighter. Level 2, a bit more brighter. And level 1, a lot brighter. And level 0, I would say, is the most brightest. So for me, personally, I want my screen to be a bit more brighter. But you guys also have those options as well. Now let's go back to the color. As you guys can tell, we get brightness. We're able to change it all the way from 80 to 100. Contrast as well. Color temperature too. All the way from cool, normal, warm. I'm using the user mode because mine is very customizable. With the image, be able to have OD on extreme or normal. OD basically makes it a bit more, I would say, adds a bit more rich element to your monitor. But unfortunately, if OD is enabled, we can't have 100 Hertz on this monitor, guys, in case you guys were wondering, unfortunately. But I always have my OD on normal, so I'm able to actually include the 100 Hertz that I actually want in my monitor. Also in the input select, we get, you know, the display port. on the HDMI on in case you guys want to use it. But unfortunately, guys, HDMI 2.0 only supports 60 frames a second, so that's the downside. I'm looking forward to HDMI 3.0, which will obviously, hopefully, support over 100 Hertz. What else do we get over here? On the system setup, we get the languages. We get heaps of languages over here, guys. As you can tell, we get English, Netherlands, all these languages over here. So in case you guys are from a different country watching this video, it supports all these languages, even Turkish over there, Espanol, all these really cool languages. So we definitely get that support over there. So now let's go back. What else do we get? Transparency. We're able to change up the transparency of this menu. I say it's perfectly fine. OHD timeout. Mine's for 30 seconds, meaning on display timeout, like will actually, you know, if I'm not using my display, actually 30 minutes rather, not 30 seconds. Key lock is actually on or off. So in case you guys want to lock your screen's properties, mine is off because I like to have that flexibility of changing it. Information, of course, this is a 3440 by 1440p monitor with 100 Hertz. We also get the lights in motion, meaning we're able to get a bit more colors in our scenery or even in our games too. The sound, have mine actually on 100. I want mine to be as loud as possible. Also be able to reset all of our settings in case you want to, and display port deep sleep, meaning will my monitor actually sleep when it's actually connected to the display port over 30 minutes long, which is perfect, and also the HDMI deep sleep as well. So yeah, it is, guys. The last feature over here is called GamePlus. We get these three really cool options. The first option we get is crosshair. So we're actually able to use any one of these. These are usually used in FPS games in case you guys want a better aim sort of feel. So we get all these different colors here. We get green and red with different designs. So if I want to use this over here, all I gotta just do is press the OK button at the back analog stick, and it actually stays on your screen over there, which is really, really cool. So whenever you're playing, you know, a really tough game and you want a better sort of aim feel, you actually have this cool feature over here. If you want to go back, all you gotta just do is press the middle button at the back and then use these other two options. The second option over here is called the timer. So you're actually able to time how long it actually plays to actually beat a certain boss, or even how long you actually want to record your gameplay, which is pretty cool. So all the way from 30, 40, 50, and 90, which is a pretty neat feature to actually have as well. The last but not least, the FPS counter. I love to have mine always on all the time. As you can tell, I press OK, and it's actually displayed over there. It actually also changes, obviously, whenever you're playing video games, which is pretty cool. So you actually won't have to buy programs like Fraps or anything. It's actually built into this monitor. Pretty neat feature. So the golden question is, was this monitor worth the 1,900 Australian dollars? Is it worth all that paper for all my hard, long work? Hell yeah, it was definitely worth it. Definitely worth the paper for me. Why? Number one, I get G-Sync on this screen over here. Number two, I get 100 Hertz. Number three, I'm also able to customize the sort of scenery that I'm seeing, all different kinds of modes, RPG, RTS, you know, racing mode. Number four, I get 3440 by 1440 pixels. Number five, I also get a really wide monitor, so I'm actually able to put half the applications on one side and the other half on the other side. And number five, I do have two GTX 1080 Ti's that can actually support the frames pushed out of this monitor. So yes, guys, if you guys got a beefy graphics card, if you guys love ultra-wide, if you guys love G-Sync, I would definitely grab this monitor over here. But thanks again, guys, for watching me. Really appreciate it. I'll be bringing more content this week, so please stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And I love you guys, and thank you again, and have a good day.